What's going on, guys? Gum2004 here, and I've peeked my head up from the rock that I've been staying under to get you my Ant-Man and the Wasp review. This doesn't really need to be said, but by far there is definitely a spoiler warning for this video if you guys haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet. I definitely recommend going to see it, so go see that and then come see this video. Yeah guys, sorry if you can hear my fan in the background, it's just over there. It's boiling. Well, it's not boiling, it's gotten a lot cooler, but it's still quite hot and I'm in a hoodie. So yeah, that's the whole point, so sorry if you can hear that. So without further ado, let's get started. Basically, this movie is a lot more simpler than the other movies. It's not Thor Ragnarok where they battle for the throne and battle for Asgard. It's not Black Panther when they battle for the throne of Wakanda, and it's not Infinity War where everybody dies. This movie is way more simpler than the other ones, but some people might see that as negative. How I see that as positive. I like that it's gone more simpler with the less horrible plot lines, so like grabbing and staying hold of the lab and the ghost storyline and stuff like that. I see it as more positive. I like that. I see like it's a bit more refreshing to see more simplicity and not just a grim tone for the movie. It's more light-hearted, this movie, and even my mom enjoyed it, so yeah, my mom enjoyed it. She thought it was very funny and she didn't sleep through it this time. Paul Rudd is once again one of the best parts of this movie. I felt like they changed his character more of a bit. They made him more of like a bumbling idiot rather than this parkour expert with a lot of trap and door knowledge. Well, I guess trap and door knowledge. But yeah, they've made him into more of this bumbling idiot that keeps doing mistakes, which just takes the character a bit of a downgrade for me, honestly. He is still one of the best characters of the movie. He's really funny. He channels Michelle Pfeiffer through him in the scene with the Wasp. That was quite funny. But to one of the most missed opportunities was this film was Lawrence Fishburne as Goliath. So if you didn't know, Lawrence Fishburne was supposed to be Goliath in this movie. It sets it up in the trailer, but it doesn't actually come through as, you know, him being Goliath in the movie. But I felt like they could have just done Giant Man versus Goliath, just like they did in the comics, it would have had like a sense of like good action that we haven't seen in the trailers into the movie. That could have really helped the movie. It's a good and entertaining movie, it's very good, but now on to the negatives. So unfortunately, most of the action scenes in this movie has already been taken out of suspense because of, you know, the trailers. Most of the action sequences were in the trailers. Some of the cool bits, like Ant-Man becoming Giant Man in the water and grabbing a hold of the boat, and Evangeline Lilly as Wasp, like beating people up in the car, and Evangeline Lilly as Wasp, beating people up in the kitchen and stuff. All that shots were taken out, so it was like, why did you put that in the trailer and put the whole fight in the trailer when we could have experienced and felt everything in the actual movie itself? So that kind of took me out of the movie a little bit. I'll go into the ending of the movie. The ending of the movie I felt was a bit abrupt. Like, it just kind of ended for me. I'm not sure if that's just my thing, like other people don't agree with me, but it's just like, oh yeah, they're all back. Goliath had to run whilst Ghost was in the alleyway, which could set up something else. But yeah, it kind of ended a bit abruptly. It's just like, oh yeah, Goliath goes, oh look, Hank and Janet are on the beach and they just grew a house. And oh look, Ant-Man's with his family again. Then it's the credits. Like, I don't understand why, like, they should have just prolonged it a bit more. I think a way to have prolonged that scene was if they put the mid-roll credit scene in the actual movie, because that would have made it a lot more better. Now let's talk about the end credit scene. The end credit scene, well, it's the mid-roll, it's the mid-credit scene, but the mid-credit scene basically links Ant-Man and the Wasp to Infinity War with Janet Van Dyne, Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne being killed from the Earth by Thanos' snap, whilst Ant-Man is in the quantum realm. But once again, this took me out of suspense a little bit, because if you're a Marvel fan like me, you'll know that Ant-Man is has been seen on set in New York filming with Captain America, so I know that he's going to get out of the situation, but the bit that's a bit of a mystery for me is how he's actually going to get out. With all that, you know that the ants still survived the snap, so that's good. In conclusion, this movie is a good movie if you like Marvel. It's very fun and light-hearted and quite refreshing to the whole Marvel scene. It's not as grim as like the last few movies, just leave that aside for now. But yeah, overall this movie gets a 7 out of 10. Mainly, there are some good parts of the movies and it's really fun and enjoyable, but there's just some bits that were too just meh for me, to be honest, and that's what I didn't really like about the movie. But yeah, I definitely recommend going to see it, and yeah, right, so yes, that is the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I need to dash now, so please like, subscribe, say nice things in the comments below, and see you all next time. Bye!